Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Stacy and I am Stress Knits on Ravelry, and I'm coming to you from Detroit, Michigan, where I live with my husband Doug, our daughter Eliza, and our pug Esther, who is underneath me right now. And this is going to be a bit of a different video. So I'm going to talk to you about color and projects because this is just what my soul needs right now, and that is because my mom was recently, this past week, diagnosed with breast cancer. And I'm not going to go into all of the details because it's not mine to tell, but I don't think more prayers and positive vibes into the universe could hurt. So it's been a challenging time, but I am trying to stay busy, which I think a lot of you can relate to. I know that a lot of you are also dealing with this or have dealt with it in the past. So I'm trying to keep busy because all I want to do is sleep, and that's not productive. So, and by productive, I mean good for my mental state. So one of the things I've been doing is planning projects for knitting and focusing on colors that make me happy, shapes that make me happy, projects that have inspired me for a little bit that I think I want to take my own spin to. I'm actually going to put photos and stuff up. This is going to be very fancy, as fancy as I can be. And yeah, so what sparked this was mine and my mom's trip to Seattle and Flock Fiber Festival and Olympic National Park. I came back from that trip so charged on creative energy and inspired by things that I saw, both yarn related and nature related, and really just wanted to hit the ground running into embracing color. So I'm actually wearing one of the projects that is kind of essential to this whole plan of embracing color. This is the mini mock neck tank by Jessie Maed Designs. This is Slug. This is the Lemon Kid Trio in the Slug colorway. Why is this in the shower? Can't tell if that was I actually need you or I'm just excited. I think I'm excited. Yeah, it was. So this is my second, and I am planning on making several. I'm just in love with this shape. So right now I'm wearing it with an oversized plaid shirt, which is basically my uniform in the fall and winter. And I always wear a tank top underneath because I don't like the feeling of sleeves on sleeves. Like that feeling bothers me quite a bit. So I really like to have a sleeveless tank top over under something like this. So I'm gonna make sure nothing's, because I'm not wearing any of the right clothes, and also no ends are woven in. So but it's just a cute little, this one's a little cropped tank, and I love it. So I have plans for several more of these, and this is one of the ways that I want to start incorporating color into my wardrobe in a way that is fitting to my style, because I really do love dressing in like earthy, neutral kind of colors. That's really what I lean towards. You know, your grays, your greens, your like clay, terracotta pinks, occasional blues, mustard yellows, rust oranges. It's really kind of my wheelhouse. But this tank top and the way that it feels on my body makes me feel so incredibly good and confident and just sexy a little bit. Like it feels so good that I want an array of colors. And because they're a layering piece for me, I'm probably not going to wear them by themselves often. I did at Flock, I really liked it. But this is basically replacing the tank tops that I normally wear every day. So with that, I have some colors to share and some plans. So I have 3 colors on deck. I'm actually going to be casting one on soon, maybe even today. So the next one that will be coming to you is in the Spritz colorway. So this is the Lamb and Kid Trio. Esther Bubba, my girlfriend, she's digging at the sunlight coming into the windows because our house faces east and it's kind of moving a little bit to the south. So these are south windows, so it's starting to come in a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But the Lamb and Kid Trio, I copied Jackie from Caddy Jacks in knitting her tanks and trio, and she knit, I think, 5 of them. And I totally understand why now, because it is the perfect yarn for this project. It feels so good next to your skin because it's 70% merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon, and it's a light fingering, so 450 yards per 100 grams. And I believe this is like exclusively the Lamb and Kids hand-dyed colorways, which is great because I love Sarah's hand-dyed colorways. So this is Spritz, which is from the Italy collection. So this is actually the one that I'm going to be casting on next because it feels like the perfect August color to knit on. And then while I was on my trip in Seattle, I picked up 2 colorways. This is very much in my wheelhouse, or like wheelhouse adjacent, and this is the Alpine Flannel colorway. And it just has all of these beautiful greeny blue tonalities to it that I love. And then Heirloom, which is a beautiful warm red. And when I say warm, I mean that the undertones to the color are like yellow or orange. And if I say something is cool, which I actually don't know if I have anything around me that's cool because I tend to like warmer colors more. But that would have like a blue tone to it. Like this has like a green tone, and I consider this a little bit warmer of a blue, if that makes sense. Whereas I really don't have, do I really not? That's actually really funny to me. Esther baby, chill. But when I say cool, that would have like a more like a red that has more blue in it, or has like purpley tones to it. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's what I mean when I'm talking about how colors lean. So when I say this is a warm red, there are definite orange undertones to this red. Yes. Anyways, and okay, so this color is not in my wheelhouse. I love orangey reds, but I am I'm not gonna wear a full on red sweater. It's too much for me. It's not something I would feel confident in. And if I don't feel confident, I don't feel like I look good, and I want to feel good in my clothes, especially if I'm making them myself. So this though, layered under something like this, just a little bit popping out, is exactly what feels comfortable and good to me. So this is going to be another mini mock neck tank. And I'm really loving the palette that is kind of happening here. I really am enjoying it. So that's going to move me into the next project that I'm using to embrace some color and some leftovers. The Shrug collection from Jackie Rose of Caddy Jack's Knits is such a phenomenon. I'm going to put a picture of the one I'm talking about on the screen, but I'm going to be talking about the Friday Shrug. I have knit a Saturday Shrug, and I have been looking at the Friday Shrug for a long time. Jackie's original colors are exactly what I love, and it's inspired by a rug in the Lamb and Kid store, which I saw when I was there. And on that rug was a set of chairs that I'm assuming they're vintage, and I'm assuming they're from like the late 60s, 70s, somewhere in there, maybe 80s, but I don't think so. And it is this pair of chairs. It has scummy, like a scummy green yellow, which I love. And then it has these giant, beautiful pink flowers. And there's like some yellows in there and some darker greens. And it is, I can't stop thinking about this chair in this color combination. So my brain immediately went to a Friday Shrug, and using this beautiful palette, this like painter's palette that Jackie has created with this shrug, because it's 9 colors, which is a lot, but she's talked about several times how she also views this as a stash busting pattern, or like a way to use up leftovers. And so when I saw my leftovers of Slug, and I also had Spritz and Alpine Flannel all together, I was like, oh, I could use my leftovers from my mini mock neck tanks to knit a Friday Shrug in a palette that reminds me of this chair from the Lamb Kit, which just feels so ridiculous, but I cannot stop thinking about this chair and how I want to put color palettes together for it, for projects that are inspired by this thing. It is so incredibly beautiful. So that is the plan. And so I'm thinking about all of these colors, and I have a couple of them. So like Slug will be used, Spritz will be used, and then this is not on trio, but I would love a tank in loam, and boom, here you go. Incredible. So that is something that my brain is just, it's trying to like work around. And I'm trying to think of the perfect colors to all pair together, because it's 9 colors, which is a lot. And the whole concept of this is you have a neutral fade, a main 4-color fade, and then a little tip of color. So I'm trying to figure out, I think the question for me is more, what's the 4-color, the main part of this going to be? And I'm leaning towards maybe the pinks, but I'm also maybe the yellows. I'm not sure, but that is something I need to get Eliza. That is something that's very exciting to me right now. The next project that has been kind of burning a hole in my brain since I saw it is Margot Chien. She is an incredible knitter, and she just creates the most beautiful projects. And the one that actually I found her with was the Alyssum sweater. That's not the one I'm talking about. That is on the list, but her Soldotnas have really stolen my heart. And I just imagine wearing a Soldotna in these beautiful colors with like a little pair of jeans, or no, it's probably just gonna be a pair of jeans, be honest with myself. Just something cute and easy. And I already have 2 colors in mind for it, but I need to build the rest of it because it's a 4-color palette. So I'm thinking for the main body color, I have cakes. Okay. I am thinking loam. So this is again the Lamb Kid. Just because I can't dye colors like this. This is just not my wheelhouse, and this is what I want. So eventually we'll get there, but, and by that, I mean, like, eventually I will be able to purchase this. But I'm thinking loam as the main color. And then one of the contrast colors, I'm thinking about pout. And then I can't figure out where to go from there. Like, maybe oats could be very nice with like slug. Maybe it's this. I don't know. I need to figure out. I kind of like this, and then having another color, maybe like a mint, maybe another green. Like, I don't know where to go from here, but I want this to be like the main like contrast and this to be the body of the sweater. I don't know where to go from here. So if you have opinions on what to pair with these, and I'm thinking about doing it in Big Birdie, which is this yarn right here. Do I have a skein of it? I do. This is Big Birdie Diamond Lane. It is 79% baby alpaca, 21% silk, 174 yards. This is the colorway Oats. I'm actually using this for a weekender. And I love this yarn and the fabric so much. And Margot Chien's Big Birdie Soldotnas by Caitlin Hunter have just really have become like an earworm to me. It's another thing that I can't stop thinking about, and I go and I look at them often. Yes, I love them. So I'm leaning towards loam and pout. Also considering tattersall, but I'm going to have leftovers of pout from my weekender. So instead of buying another colorway, I thought maybe this would be a good way to use up the extras of this. So if you have ideas, if you love putting together colors, please help. Because I can't think of where to go from here to add 2 colors to make the Soldotna. The last project I'm going to talk about today is actually the one that kind of started it all. It's between this and the mini mock neck tank. This project is something that I've wanted to knit since it came out. I believe it was in March of 2023, this past March. And I just couldn't figure out my color palette. I purchased a kit from the Lamb Kid for it, and I'm using 2 of those colors in mine, and I'm planning my mom's now also. Mom, if you're watching this, how do you feel about this with some blues? I'm thinking. But that is the Bright Here, Bright Now scarf. And I am honestly a little shocked that there are not more projects of this. This is a scarf designed by Wanderlust Knitter, Caitlin, who has a lot of patterns. There are so many of hers that I want to knit. One that I'm hoping to cast on next year, I think, will be like the Confluence sweater from the Labianami Neons and Neutrals book. But this is a giant wide scarf, and my mom and I saw one of the samples at the Lamb and Kid. This is also like a Lamb and Kid love fest, but the color palette of the Lamb and Kid is really just, I'm gravitating towards it right now, and it's also nice to not knit with my own yarn. And just, these are just the colors that I really, really want in my hands right now. So, when my mom and I were at the shop, we saw it, and my mom wrapped it around herself, and it looked so good on her, and I grabbed it, and I felt the fabric, and I was like, oh, I need this. And I fell in love with some colorways while we were at the shop that I brought home with me, which are, so the one that surprised me right away, this color kept catching my attention. This is all birdie, so the Surrey Alpaca silk base, the lace weight. This is big birdie, and this is regular birdie. This is Layla, and it's this beautiful electric borderline periwinkle purple color, and I fell in love with it. And next to Layla was Bakelite, which is a color that I love very, very deeply from the Lamb and Kid. And then next to that, I saw Spritz, which I love so much. And I saw these three together. I was like, oh, that's super cute. I need something to kind of tone it down a little bit. And I grabbed Bell Bottom Blues. So these were the four that I came away with. And I was like, oh, these will be a perfect base for the Bright Here, Bright Now scarf. I just need to add 2 more colors to it. And luckily, when I bought the kit, it came with gorgeous colors. The original kit that I got from the Layman Kit, let me actually, because I have it on the table with me, because I'm just playing around with my yarn on our dining room table right now. The original kit that I got from the Layman Kit, which was a mystery kit, was this. So I'm dropping everything. We have Tarte, Alpine Flannel, Peekaboo, Miel, Siren, and Mint Condition. So everything's falling apart. Okay, everything's fine. This is all on me. So this was the kit, and it's beautiful, but it just wasn't exactly what I wanted. But you can't have enough Surrey Alpaca in your stash, so I didn't really mind. I was like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna ruminate on what to use these for. And again, I'm leaning towards making my mom one and using these 2 colors. And okay, Eliza needed a snack. So when I was looking for ways to pair these 4, I knew that I had those colors to play with, and I grabbed Alpine Flannel and Tarte, and this is my color palette for the Bright Here, Bright Now scarf. And I have not stopped working on this, and I only cast this on 2 days ago, so bear that in mind. Here she is. So it's knit in the round. So the fabric is double birdie doubled, which is an incredible dream. And I love the way that Caitlin, Wanderlust Knitter, proportioned everything. So everything is very bite-sized. There's chunks of this scarf to knit, and this is a large scarf. But she broke it down into like panels, kind of, or sections, I guess would be a better word. So like, this is section 1. This is section 2, and I am on section 3 right now. But I just love it because the first day I was like, oh, I'll just knit the first section, and I just knit the first section. And it's so fun because all of these are relatively short pieces of knitting. So it was really easy to just keep going because I was like, okay, I started with alpine flannel, and then I added the Layla and the spritz and the bell bottom blues. And it was just so much fun to play with. And it took me a long time to figure out my color order. I knew that I really wanted this section to be this green and the pink together because I really love green and pink. Has always been my favorite color combo, but as I've grown, it's no longer like electric watermelon like it was when I was in elementary school. It's now like terracotta and like a deep green. But this is just such a fun, like, again, it's going back to that 70s vibe chair in the Lamb and Kid, tart and spritz. I'm in love with it. And then this section right now is just so fun. But the reason I love this, and I will sing its praises forever, not only is the fabric just incredible, and I cannot wait to just wrap this around myself, I think that not only is it a fun way to play with color, like I would never have a full sweater. I would have a mini mock neck tank in this color, but I would never do a full garment in this Layla color because it's just not my style and I wouldn't feel comfortable in it. But this has given me a way to use like my normal color palette and add things to it that are a little funkier. And it has given me the confidence. And on top of that, this is such a great stash busting knit. It is incredible. So I don't understand why there are not more projects of this pattern on Ravelry or on Instagram. I think everybody should knit one of these in a color palette of their choice, in the yarns of their choice. A lot of us like holding Surrey or mohair double along with our sweaters or shawls, or if you've done Saturday shrugs. We all have these like little remnants of fluffy yarn, and it's really hard to find a project to put them in unless you're doing it for like color work or a small thing like that. This is the perfect solution. You don't need 6 full skeins. You could do 10 remnants. You could do 20 remnants of your fluffy stash. You can mix and match Halo and Surrey. So if you are someone like me who wants to play with color, or you have a bunch of fluffy yarn laying around, or all of the above apply to you, the Bright Here, Bright Now scarf is such a fun way to play with it. And you don't have to do just 6 colors. You could do as many or as little as you want. This fabric is incredible. There is an optional brushing of the Surrey to create more of a watercolor effect, which is beautiful. And I'm debating if I want to do that or not. I'm leaning towards doing it, but I'm also really enjoying the graphic nature of the stripes right now. So maybe I'll keep it like this for a year and then brush it out another year. But it's just the perfect, mindless, but fun thing to have on my needles right now. And it is bringing so much comfort and so much joy to my life to have these colors that I picked out with my mom. And also that just, I get to wrap this around myself at the end of all of it. And it feels so good. So I will sing the praises of the Bright Here, Bright Now scarf by Wanderlust Knitter forever, because it's bringing me so much in a very challenging season of life. And I love it so much. And I think that is where I'm going to leave you. I'm just really enjoying talking about color. I'm finding so much joy in watching other people talk about color. I'm finding myself revisiting some of my favorite video podcasts and just watching people talk about picking the colors for the patterns that they're using and different color combinations. And I'm watching old Lamb and Kid lives because the colors are just making me so happy. And Sarah talks about color combinations a lot, and I don't know what it is, but there's just so much comfort in color right now. She's watching a video. There's just so much comfort in color that it's just all I'm craving, and I could talk about it for hours, and I could listen to other people talk about it for hours, and I have. But I just can't wait to share more about these projects and what is going on. I really appreciate all of you listening to me share what's going on right now, and also just blabbering on and on about color and projects, because it's really helping in a way. And I don't know if that sounds weird, or I don't know, but that's just where I'm at right now. So that's what's going on. And yeah, I think we're gonna leave it at that. Thank you to everyone who's supporting me over on Patreon, and thank you to everyone who is watching me here on YouTube. I really appreciate you being here, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.